And we have bought into that and trying to compete with each other and meet an ideal and going outside of ourselves trying to get somebody else's approval or to fight for some dick, when the most powerful bond that we have first is with each other. We should always support each other, and I know all of us are not going to do that for each other, and we can't trust every woman because she's a woman, because we have a lot of women with jealousy issues, insecurity issues, not righteous, not standing 360 degrees in vagina power. So they really cannot help you become more beautiful than you are, because a lot of us are not really standing in our beauty and walking in it and knowing who we are, because we're full of so much shame and rage and pain and self-hatred and low self-esteem because of the things that I just described and because of the way men have treated us or didn't treat us or things that have happened to us in our life. So we really need to be careful about the types of women that we are around. We have to get strategically placed women that are going to be in our circle so that we can have these healing womb circles. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 of your girls and you decide once a week on the weekend, we're going to get by ourselves, we're going to get in the house, we're going to meditate, we're going to cook, we're going to laugh, we're going to talk, we're going to read a certain book, we're going to discuss that book in our book club, we're going to talk about our issues, we're going to pray for each other, we're going to get massages together, we're going to have dinner together, we're going to see how can we support our girl. If one of our girls are hurting, that means all of us are hurting. So we're going to see how can we help her get into vagina power. See, those are the kind of bonds that we have to create now, spiritual, mental, and emotional bonds. But we first have to get ourselves right and balanced. We have to be in tune with who we are, because we're supposed to be so in tune with our girls, and this will even happen too. If sisters, mothers, daughters, all y'all are still having periods, if you living in the same house, if y'all around each other enough, the synchronicity from your body and from the electromagnetic fields in your bodies will start to get in tune with each other till y'all start having your period around the same time. That's just what women do, because the whole universe orbits around a woman's womb, and we carry the knowledge of all men and women in our womb. So we are naturally intuitive and telepathic. And we should be so in tune with ourselves, and then when we have certain girlfriends we pick, we're going to nurture them. They shouldn't even have to tell us with their mouth that something's out of order with their spirit, because their spirit we start tripping on their spirit when they're around us. Have you ever experienced that? I've been around somebody, and I was done balance myself. I'm feeling good. I done balance energy in my house. I can go in somebody's house, and the energy be so fucked up with that woman. I'm like, what done happens in here, and what done happen with you? Because you can just sense the whole energy coming out of their forehead, coming off their body. It's fucked up, and something done went down with their man or their mama or some other kind of drama. Something done happened. That is how we're supposed to be with our girls. And it's sometimes, especially when we know that we got a woman dealing with a lot of drama, a lot of pain, and a lot of trauma, that when they're going through something, they should feel comfortable to come to you. And you should feel comfortable to go to her. And if you got friends around you that you know, and you do need to know this, because there are certain of your girlfriends you should never be that open with them, because you can't trust them. And they will take your business in the street. They don't really give a fuck about the shit that happened to you. They're just glad the shit ain't happened to them. Those are not the kind that I'm talking about, so you don't need to have them close to you anyway. But when you find the right core of feminine energy, women that might not be in vagina power, but they want to be in vagina power, so y'all are all working together in unison to bring each other to that higher state of awareness, those women should be able to come to you, and when they're in pain, be able to express themselves to you. And you know what? Every time somebody tells you their problem, that doesn't mean that you got to open your mouth and give them a solution. Unless they ask you for your opinion or they ask you for a solution, sometimes when people tell you shit, they don't want you to go off on them and start beating them up. Why you so stupid? Why you still crying about this shit? Why you still going through that shit? Sometimes it's a time and place for that. You got to know the balance for that shit. You got to know when somebody need that kind of kick from you. Sometimes people just be so broken, and they done held this shit down so long because they don't trust nobody. Just like this girl, her whole life, people been raping her. And women that she trusted, the women done been abandoning her, and then the men been abandoning her and only want to use her and want to pay attention when they want to stick a dick in her. And they started off like that as a little girl. So I've never physically met this woman in my life. Wouldn't even know what she looked like, but she just felt comfortable while she's riding down the street with her husband, and she said, I told my husband this before, but instead of just telling her husband, her friend gives her my number, she calls the number, and we get to talking, and she starts to just slobbering. So I felt that I needed to just shut up. I needed to be quiet, and I was hungry as a motherfucker. I was so goddamn hungry and feeling woe out and shit, because I had told Mo earlier, I don't even want to do no show. I'm so goddamn hungry. She's like, yeah, you do sound woe out. Maybe you need to rest. So I'm trying to get me something to damn eat. I'm driving. It's raining down here. It's real foggy and shit. I'm like, I just need to get to some food. So while I'm trying to get to the food and I'm miserable and my head is killing me, she crying. So I'm like, well, I can't hang up the phone. I don't know her, so I really don't have to listen. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this. Because I feel like there was a reason that we were on the phone. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus. I'm going to drive. I'm going to listen to her holler, and I'm going to find me some food. So I get the food, and while I'm getting my food, she's just talking. And I'm asking her, what is she feeling? What is she going through? Because I knew, and two, I'm going to tell you something about 33. Y'all need to look at numbers, because that's when I started going through the transition at 33. All the stuff that she's doing, talking to people she don't know, that she feel comfortable with, crying uncontrollably, all this stuff is coming up, and she keeps saying, so you don't think I'm stupid? So you don't think I'm crazy? So I said, no. What you're going through is absolutely normal. When you feel angry, when you feel enraged, when you cry for no reason, because one of her issues, she was crying because she said she's hurt because her mother says, I don't owe you any explanation. And she just moved from Atlanta, so her father was staying with her for a little while, and she told her father all the stuff she told me, and she asked him, so are you sorry for what happened to me and that you left me as a little girl? Don't you want to apologize? He said, no, I don't want to apologize to you. I don't owe you an apology for anything that happened to you. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't have anything to do with that, and then left her again. So she felt like all the men leave, and her mother and her father and her grandmother and her aunt, all of the women that were supposed to protect her, they're now telling her, you are so crazy, and you just make stuff up, and you have such a vivid imagination, or you don't remember stuff right. I don't want to talk about this. You're making my head hurt. Why don't you just get over it? Why you keep bringing stuff up from the past? Why don't you just move on? I don't want to deal with this. I don't even want to talk to you if you keep bringing up what you said I did or didn't do. And this is the little girl that was so heartbroken and so abused because she was fucked over and abandoned. That's who was crying on the phone, not the 33-year-old woman. That's what I'm trying to get you to see, and that's why I try to get her to see. Because she's sitting there crying. She thinks it's just her. I was like, yeah, it's not the grown you. It's you got the bigger body, but you're still caught in the 6-year-old little girl. And then she said, like, maybe earlier this year, the psychiatrist wanted to put her in a psych ward. So they always try to put her in a psych ward. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, what you just told me doesn't deserve you being put in a psych ward, but I've been to see psychiatrists myself. I said, I already know it's certain buzzwords and keywords that you do not say to a fucking psychiatrist because by law they do have the power to lock your ass up. If they feel that you're a danger to yourself or if you're a danger to somebody else, a psychiatrist can be ordered you put into a mental institute and fucking drugged. And there's nothing that you can do about it. So I'm like, now, did you use certain buzzwords like I want to kill myself, I want to kill somebody else, I want to kill my children, I want to die, I want somebody else to die? She was like, no. I said, well, wait a minute, you're not making sense to me because they're not just going to put you in a psych ward because you told me you were abused and you shot somebody when you were little because they were abusing you or your sister. She's like, well, no, but maybe it's because I tried to burn my husband's house up. I was like, with him in it? And she's like, yeah. I said, yeah, that's a good buzzword. That will send your ass right to the fucking nut house. She's like, I said, so why did you try to burn your husband up in the house? She said, well, he told me that he started saying shit like he didn't give a fuck about me. He didn't give a fuck where I went, get the fuck out of his house. I said, okay, so that was some of that little girl shit. That